Welcome back. In this video, we will see what are the measures and calculated columns inside Power BI, and we will see all the aspects how we can make the measures and calculated columns, and what are the things that are related to these measures, why we need the measures, why we need the calculated columns, and how the calculated columns be merged into the data sets that we have loaded so far into the project. So first we will see into this presentation, then I will walk you through the Power BI IDE where we practically see how we can make the measures and how we can implement directly into the module, right? So measures and calculated columns are basically an important aspects into the Power BI. In the beginning, they were the only things how you can make the calculations and all the advancements into Power BI. But nowadays there is a DAX query option as well. You can interact with the data sets like SQL. Like in the SQL structured query language, that you can interact with your data set, and in the same way you can do inside Power BI now. But there are measures and calculated columns exist yet. Okay, you can use them and make the calculations, make the output for the automations, and you can do everything inside the Power BI project that it will not be affecting your database or some data sources. So here I have just mentioned some points here, that the calculated column is basically what it is. It is a column that will be added and merged into your data set, right? So what it will do, it will basically do some calculation like some merging, concatenation, something like that, that will be row wise. Like it will give you results in row wise, like in every row you will be getting the some results. Like if you see here, when calculated add data load refresh time, when we use to make calculated columns, when we load the data set, because when you need something to be changed or modified into the data set, you first load that data set and transform it into the Power Query, and you can make these calculations out there as well, and you can do in the modeling version of report view as well. So we will see this into the IDE. Okay, what's the context here? Row context, calculated column for each row. As I explained, that this will give you row wise results. And store, where it stores into the data model, right? Where you have all the entities for the table, you will be getting this particular version out there as well. But if you do DAX queries are not saved into the module or any data model. The measures and calculated columns will be a part of your model, but the DAX queries are not. Okay, this is the difference between all of this. And why this is used for, this is for categorizing rows, helping for the other columns. Like if you are extending some context and want more deeper information and want to show into the data module, so you can do this. So if the other person comes into your IDE and see all the coding and all the layout and architecture, he can or she can understand well how the data has been sequenced. So if you see here, they are giving us a profit equals sales revenue minus sales cost. That's how you can make the calculated column. This is basically a syntax. This is a plain syntax. We will make some calculated column as well. And here are the measures. What this is a dynamic aggregation formula, because in measures you will be getting one value. Like if you are performing one formula and getting one value, that's how measure reflects to your formulas and give back some values. And when calculated at query time, like where you want some calculations into the Power BI and you want some KPI, like if you want average time duration of the delivery for the orders that you have that the customer ordered and you delivered, how much the time duration between them, you can calculate by using some logic of text. Okay, so what is the context? Filtering context depends on the visual, like what you want into the visual. Like if you want the calculation on the basis of sales, you want the average profit revenue or average average expenses and all that into the visuals, and you can make these measures by yourself. And what are the example? Basically they are giving the same way. One example for the syntax: total revenue, you just need to type sum and then the table name and then the column name. That's how you can simply make your one simple measure into the Power BI. So now we will see how we can make the measures and how we can make the calculated columns. This is basically step by step guidance how you can do this. You can save it and you can watch this again and again to follow the steps and make your calculations be smooth. Okay, right click on the table in the field pane. Now what is the field pane? Field pane is basically where the data resides. So make sure that you are into that table, then right click on it and you can choose the measures and calculated columns, whichever you want. Okay, and then the formula bar appears where you can write the formula for calculated column or measure. The formula tab will not be changed, they will remain same. Type your DAX formula. Yes, I already elaborated that how we can write the formula. Press enter. Measure appears with the calculator icon. So there are two icons. One is for measures and one for calculated column. So now we jump into the Power BI. We will see this is a dashboard that we have here. If you see, okay. So here we have these data sets, right? So now how you can make your measures or calculated columns. If you go into the table tools, you can see new measure, new calculated column, new table, whichever you want you can add from here. But if you go to the modeling, basically this is dedicated you can say pane where all the handles are mentioned for the measures and calculated columns and all the querying functions. Okay, new measure here and new calculated column. So this is one way you can make the calculated column or measure, but the other way is which was mentioned into the PPT here. I just right click on the table, on particular table. If you see, I have many tables here. I have 6 or 7 tables here, and if I just right click on it and make a new calculated column, first I need to go to the table view so I can show you. There I have customer ID, customer zip code, customer city, customer state, and unique key. So what I am looking for here, I am looking for to create one calculated column here, then we will make one measure as well. Right click on it and just new column. That will create my calculated column, and here if you see it will add up my one column new. Yeah, so now whatever the calculation I will make, it will give me row wise results, right? So I will just concatenate here my customer city and customer state. So I will type here the full location here, right, and equals to, okay. So now what I want here, I want the complete concatenation basically between them. Okay, so first I want my you can say customer city and then the customer state. Okay, customer city, and then I want ampersand, that is used to concatenate between some things. Okay, so now I want double quotes here and type comma here which I want between them, and then again ampersand. Okay, so now which I want the other field, I want the customer state, right? So customer state here. Okay, so if I just close my parenthesis, okay, I have not started the parenthesis. Here I have just mentioned my two fields and I want their concatenation here, and this is a plain, you can say a simple English format and syntax. You can say this is another so-called programming syntax and hard to remember. It's a super easy, and when I hit enter you will see that the calculated column icon here, this is the icon that will be generated by the system for the calculated column. And this other calculated one calculator is for basically measures. We will see how measures will be calculated. And here if you see it provided me all the way information about my city and state. So now I have both informations in one single column. So this is how you can concatenate and you can merge the values to create one single calculated column, right? So now if I go to a report view here, And if I see my if I just close my this module. Okay, so if I go to delivery dataset, or where I have some calculation, I have price here. Okay, if I go to create one new measure to calculate total price, basically this summation is created by the system by default, but this is not the suggested way. You always need to create the measures so you can get the accurate results. So if you will not do this, you will get some redundancy or some errors into the data sets after some time, not at the same time, but after some time you will see some differences. Okay, so where is my, it's okay, here you see I want to create total revenue value. Okay, so how I would create this, I would just sum my prices. Okay, and sum, and then start the parenthesis. I want what I want here, it will give me all the way values that I have in this particular table. So I have the price here, so I want to calculate this price, the summation, which will give me the total revenue value. Okay, just close the parenthesis. This is a simple syntax how you can make the calculation inside this particular people say that is a complication and this is a difficult part into the Power BI, but this is super easy and exciting to make our automations. You can do calculations for the region wise sales and all that stuff you can make by yourself using these simple DAX queries. And hit enter here, and if you see, it will give me the measure here and change the name of measure which we have given the total revenue value, right? So here you can see the total revenue value measure has been created. So that's how you can make your measures and calculated columns, and you can play with it all over the data set whichever you have. So here if I show you other KPIs, like other measures that we have created so far, here as you see monthly revenue that I have calculated here, calculate total revenue. So I have just calculated total revenue first and then dates, month to date. Basically this is month wise revenue be calculated through date, that I have the field inside my data model here, and this will create this calculation and give me in just simple one KPI, so I can use it here. If you see sum of payment installments, sum of quantities, sum of prices, sum of freight value that I've used here so far, and in the other pages I have used these sort of KPIs and the other information that I have created here. And you can make many other calculated columns, many other you can say the other entities. Here if you see, this is my other measure, and this was some calculation that was some complicated one. If you see here, calculate some of this value be calculated here, all except I want what except. So here I want the customer data set, I want to get into that table first and then indicate the particular column entity, and then just get out of this particular syntax and get the results. Okay, so that's how you can make your measures and calculated columns. That's all for this video. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.